I'll never forget the way she screamed that line like it was ripped out of some playbook of bitterness. You people are always first in line for a handout. But when it's time to give back, you scatter like roaches. Those were her exact words. My son Mason was right there beside me in our driveway, holding this comically oversized bottle of shampoo like it was a trophy from some superhero mission. He was 7, wearing his little blue shirt with the cape stitched to the back, and he just froze. His eyes went wide, searching my face for answers I didn't have while I stood there in my suit, holding a 6-pack of toilet paper, wondering how the best Saturday of the month had collapsed into chaos in seconds. To back up the day had started perfectly. I had wrapped up a huge presentation that morning, one I'd been stressing over for weeks, and it went off without a hitch. My wife Elena asked me if I could swing by and grab some things from Costco on my way back. I figured why not make it fun, so I picked up Mason from his playdate, and we turned it into a dad and son mission. Windows rolled down, singing along to the radio, him rattling on about the fort he built in his friend's backyard. It was one of those golden afternoons where the air is crisp, the sun's just warm enough, and you feel like maybe life's finally balancing out. Costco, of course, was its usual circus. Mason pushed the cart pretending it was a spaceship, while I tried not to get run over in the aisles. We stocked up on the usual paper towels, detergent, shampoo, a rotisserie chicken, and our little ritual of pizza, for him hot dog for me. Everything was normal until she showed up. I noticed her first in the snack aisle, a woman in a loud cheetah print jacket, empty cart eyes locked on ours like a hawk circling prey. She stared at our cart, then at me, then at Mason, and muttered, "Must be nice loading up like that." I tried to be polite. I told her we were just stocking up for the month. She didn't smile. Instead, she touched the detergent box in our cart with these long chipped nails and said flat out, "I need some of this and toilet paper and coffee." I thought she was joking, but she leaned in, looked me dead in the eye and said, "You look like a nice charitable man. You should pick up my list for me, you can afford it." I laughed nervously, shook my head, and told her I had my own family to take care of. Mason clutched my leg, sensing the tension. Her face twisted like I'd insulted her. She sneered at my suit and muttered, "Figures. All dressed up thinking you're better than the rest of us." Then she stormed off, pushing her empty cart so hard it smacked into a granola display. I chalked it up to a weird encounter. I told Mason some people just have rough days and we kept shopping. But she didn't leave us alone. No matter what aisle we turned into, she was there always at the far end, just watching with that empty cart. Mason whispered, "Daddy, there's the mad lady again." And I could feel the good mood bleeding out of me. By checkout, she was right in the lane next to us, still with nothing in her cart, glaring at every single item we unloaded. It felt like we were being stalked. When we finally got outside, I thought we were free. But as I loaded bags into the trunk, I saw her sedan creeping past, her eyes locked on me. My gut dropped. I took a different route home, added a few random turns, but every time I checked the mirror there, she was 2 or 3 cars back. By the time we pulled into our driveway, the knot in my stomach was a fist. Mason hopped out, still clutching that shampoo bottle, and before I could exhale, her car screeched to a stop, blocking us in. She got out swinging. "I saw you in there," she shrieked. "Your fancy suit, your cart overflowing. You probably paid with food stamps anyway. You can't even help a decent woman who just needed a little." I tried to keep calm, told her she was on my property, that she was upsetting my son, and she needed to leave. That only fueled her fire. "Your property," she spat. "People like you don't own anything. You scam your way in." I finally snapped, told her if she didn't leave, I'd call the police. That's when her eyes lit up and she smirked. "No, sweetheart. I'm calling the police." She pulled out this battered cell phone, dialed 911 right in front of me, and put on the performance of a lifetime. Her voice dropped into this trembling, terrified whisper. "Help, please help me," she cried, staring right at me while tears miraculously formed. "There's a man threatening me. He followed me home from Costco. He's using his child as a shield. Please send someone to 82 Willow Lane. My address." I stood there stunned. She'd just weaponized the system, flipped the entire story on its head. Mason clung to me, trembling, while she leaned against her car, arms crossed, smirking like she'd just checkmated me. Minutes later, sirens wailed. Usually background noise, now the loudest, scariest sound in the world. The first officer arrived, lights flashing, hand already resting on his gun. He didn't ask questions. He ordered me to put my hands where he could see them and step away from my son. My own son. I tried to explain, but he cut me off, focused all his concern on her. She turned on the waterworks, claiming I had tailgated her, screamed at her, nearly ran her over in my driveway. She made herself the trembling victim and me the monster. Just when I thought I'd be cuffed in front of Mason, a second squad car pulled up. This officer, a younger black woman named Officer Daniels, didn't charge in. She scanned the scene, saw the groceries still scattered, the car engine cold, the keys in my pocket. She listened carefully, then asked the woman one simple question. "If he followed you, how did you know his address to give dispatch?" The woman froze, stammered something about being observant, but Daniels just nodded and said, "Good, because we'll be checking traffic cameras and Costco footage." You could see the panic flicker across Karen's face, but it didn't matter. Protocol meant both stories went in the report. I was humiliated, treated like a suspect in my own driveway, while she strutted off smirking. For days after, Elena and I lived in dread. Mason had nightmares about the mad cheetah lady. Then the phone rang, a detective saying she had pressed charges with a new witness who claimed to see everything. My stomach dropped. This wasn't just a lie anymore, it was a conspiracy. We hired a lawyer, Mr. Howard, a no-nonsense man with more courtroom miles than I could count. He told us bluntly her story plus her friends against mine was dangerous. We'd need evidence, and thank God Costco had cameras. Footage showed her approaching us, empty cart, touching my detergent box, demanding I buy her list. It showed her leaving alone, no witness car behind her. It was proof. But the smear didn't stop. She spread her lies around the neighborhood, knocking on doors, painting me as some road rage maniac. Neighbors avoided us, parents steered their kids away from Mason at the park. Then came the viral video, chopped footage from our driveway, edited to make me look unhinged, yelling with captions calling me violent and entitled. Our address plastered online. Within hours, we were doxxed, hate mail threats, my employer putting me on leave. All because of a stranger's edited video. We hid for days, blinds drawn, phones blowing up. Then an unexpected crack of light, an anonymous blog post from a local journalist. It laid out the truth, her demand for free groceries, her lies, the Costco footage. Public opinion started to shift. A friend launched a GoFundMe titled, "Help an Innocent Family Fight a Malicious Lie." Donations and messages of support poured in. For the first time, we felt less alone. And then our real break. A neighbor, a quiet college kid named Ryan, showed up at our door. He admitted he'd watched the whole thing from his bedroom window, but had been too anxious to talk to police. Now, seeing the lies spiral, he couldn't stay silent. His statement matched ours perfectly, her screaming me calm, Mason crying. His testimony was gold. We also hired a private investigator who uncovered that Karen, real name Brenda, had a history of false reports and frivolous lawsuits. But the real twist, her so-called witness received a $10,000 payment days after her statement from a shell company tied back to someone I knew. An ex-business partner I'd fallen out with a decade ago who swore he'd ruin me one day. He had hired her, fueled her madness with money. And the PI found one more chilling detail: our house had once been her childhood home. Her family lost it in foreclosure. Her father died soon after, and she never let go. She wasn't just a grifter. She was obsessed. When our lawyer laid all this out, the Costco footage, Ryan's testimony, the PI's findings, and the money trail, the DA's office had no choice. Charges against me were dropped immediately. Instead, Brenda, her fake witness, and my ex-partner were indicted for conspiracy, perjury, and fraud. The neighborhood that had once shunned us threw a block party in our honor. My company reinstated me with a promotion. Mason slowly stopped having nightmares, though he still calls her the mad cheetah lady. And Elena and I stood in our backyard one night, the house glowing with laughter inside, and realized we weren't just survivors. We'd reclaimed something that someone had tried to take from us. But sometimes I sit on the porch Brenda's father once built and think about how thin the line is between normal life and chaos, how a stranger's obsession can hijack your world in seconds. Do we really ever know who's watching? Who's nursing a grudge, who sees us not as people but as symbols in their own twisted story? That's my question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have fought to stay in that house or walked away from a place with such a haunted past? Drop your thoughts below, tell me where you stand, and don't forget to share this story with someone who's ever dealt with a lie that almost burned their life down. Because sometimes the only way to fight darkness is to drag it straight into the light.